What's up guys, Weather Wednesday coming at you with another Watcher of Realms video, and today is day number 400 of my account. And so what I want to do today is talk to you about my journey in this game and how I got to level 100 today actually. How I got here and what you can do in 400 days as a free-to-play player. Now, number one, the obvious thing is you can get to level 100 in 400 days. At least that's what I did. As a consistent player, I grind this game every single day. I use my energy as much as possible. I am very conservative with how I use my resources. When I use my diamonds, when I use my summons, I try to maximize things as much as possible, and it has served me pretty well. Now, the first thing that you're going to want to know, of course, is what's my lineup looking like? What kind of heroes do I have? Now, as you can see, number one, I was lucky. And when there was a Praetus banner a few months ago, I had, I think, 29 red shards maybe. And on my very last one, I did pull a Praetus, and he is absolutely a game changer, especially when it comes to Apocalypse 2, and we will get to that. Now, I've had very good luck. Not perfect luck, but very good luck on the quality of my heroes. I do very often go all the way to pity on my summons, which just happens as part of the game, but I've gotten a lot of good quality. Now, who are my favorite heroes? We'll just go down the list, and I will show you the ones that really stand out. Now, obviously, Praetus, he's number one. He's the one that I'm most excited to have on my account. And then we'll go Hex. He is an amazing damage dealer. Zillatu is actually my number one damage dealer for Guild Boss 1. And then I do have Silas up to A1 now. Kagiri was just guaranteed very recently. Last weekend, I think. Not yesterday, but like the week before. So I've had him about a week and a half, and he's really good in Apocalypse 2 as well. Arrogance is amazing, especially along with his partner there. Comet, I got very early. He is now A1. Vierna, I just got very recently. And of course, she pairs very well with Silas. I have only used her a little bit, but I'm very excited to have her on my account. Nyx is actually pretty underrated. I think Cetrim is decent too. Jira is also good in Apocalypse 2, so she's very useful. Valeria was my first ever legendary hero, and she was a hard carry early on. I don't use her quite as much as I used to. She's still useful. Nora is fairly decent. Magda, I don't use her a ton, but maybe a little bit. Alora's not that great. She's okay. Boreas, I got Boreas after he was nerfed. So he's still really good. He's just not what he was before he was nerfed. Laya is a pretty good lord. Obviously, everybody gets Volca. Kriya is not that useful. Venema is not that amazing other than her lord skill. Lysier is okay. I don't use him a ton except for Guild Boss 1, I guess. Gear Dungeon 1. Brokir is an amazing tank. I got him fairly early in my account. Let's see. I don't have the best healers in the game, unfortunately. I don't have Eloin. I guess we can talk about my most wanted in a little bit. But I've got some pretty good tanks. I got some okay healers. Lucius. I'm still trying to figure out if he is all that he was cracked up to be. I do use him in Apocalypse 2. Helga, also an Apocalypse 2 team. Salazar, I got a couple months back. I don't really use him a whole lot yet. Same with Ares. I was able to get everything done to get in it, but he's not that great, unfortunately. Alistair was a fusion champion or hero that was actually pretty good. Razak has his uses. Edith is decent. So I was able to do the Mica Fusion. I haven't really used her anywhere. I don't really use my Nocturne, even though I think I have him. Oh no, I don't have him A2. I get him and Lasir confused a little bit, just mentally for some reason. I have him A2. So who are my absolute favorites? Obviously Praetus. He's the only one that I have actually favorited, but I have absolutely loved having Zillitu and Hex on my account. They were my second and third heroes ever in the game. I use them a ton. I use Arrogance, Silas, Kagiri I think I will be using a lot more. Comet is amazing. She's still really good. Boreas is still really good. So I've got a lot of good heroes in the game. I have almost every epic up to A5. There are 2 epics that I cannot get. One because they're not actually in the game. They're in the game as a mistake. And the other one you pretty much have to pay for. So besides those 2, I have every epic in the game. And most of them are A5. But to be honest, I only consistently use probably, just looking at it real close, maybe 15. Hollow is great from the beginning. Idril was my very first epic hero in the game, and she's obviously amazing. Lunaria is great. Maul is absolutely necessary in the game. Pyros makes Zillitu great. Vortex, I still use him to this day, and I think most players do. Greed is good. I don't like him as much as some do. Maiden is obviously very important for Guild Boss 2. Wrath, I use him all over the place, including Guild Boss 1. And I might have him in a Guild Boss 2 team as well. And then Mari is still very good. Aveline has her uses. Isolde is a very good lord. Olag is free and easy to get, and he's very important. Dolores is obviously amazing for inspiration. And then Laurel is definitely necessary for Guild Boss 1, pretty much. And, there are a lot of good heroes like Baron, and Cyrene can be useful. I know some people like Estrid. I haven't really used her a ton. I don't really use Deimos or Vladoff, even though they could be very good. I don't really use Nasalt or Nassim very much, but they can both be very good. And then there's a ton of bad epics. And then when it comes to rares, pretty much Decimus is the only one that I can use consistently. I might have Dagna in a team somewhere, and Autumn I don't really use, but she can be useful. Narvi can be useful. I don't really use these rares. I just built most of those just for an event where I had to build something. Now my Pantheon, quite frankly, it could be better. I do have the main thing, level 80. Everything else is kind of 54, 60, 60. Could be better, just like my, where is it? My faction trials. I gotta tell you, I don't put a ton of work into my faction trials. I finished one of them, the Esotericist, simply because I have a lot of really good mages. So it wasn't too difficult when you have Boreas and Comet and Anora, that happened pretty quickly. Tide was what I was looking for, and I'm stuck on wave 157. I guess I don't have the gear. I tried to re-gear some things to get through this, but let's see, quick retreat, quick deploy, and it's just too hard. I'm not there. So I'm not quite to getting my Volca to A5, unfortunately. Maybe there's a strategy out there that I can look into to clearing all that, but I'm just not there. Now, as far as let's go to Drake's Chasm, also known as Guild Boss 1. And as you can see, I was able to get through Nightmare 4. I was able to complete that about a month ago. I did put a video out there of how I defeated Nightmare. The most I've done is a little over 53k. And we'll go ahead and take a look at this team. My main damage comes from Zilla 2, then Hex, and then the Valentine's pair. Kind of round that out, as well as Pyros. And I use Wrath, Volca, Dolores, Laurel, and Hollow all to kind of throw out the inspiration, the healings, all that stuff. So Drake's Chasm, it's done. It took me a year, but it's done. I get that every single day now, and so that's great. Now, Apocalypse. This is what I've discovered about Apocalypse. I don't have Eloin. You pretty much need Eloin to be able to do Apocalypse to a decent amount. Yesterday I got like 24k because I don't have Eloin, so I have to use Maiden, and my team just gets wiped out because I can't clear those poisons fast enough. Maybe if I re-gear her, I could get to 30k or something, but that's the best I could do for now. And because I use Maiden on APAC 2, I don't have her for APAC 1, so I can't max out the 30k there either. But the rewards are so good, even only getting 24k, so I get the first reward here, and I get the 15k plus reward here, and that's still really good. If I get Eloin, those numbers will bump up for sure. Now, when it comes to GVG, my guild does take it fairly seriously. We have dropped down lately. We've had some very tough matchups, unfortunately. And if we look at our ranking, unfortunately, we have dropped down all the way to 188, but we're still top 5%. We have been as high as number 60, and then we just started getting wiped out. So we've done better, we've been better, but we're still a pretty good guild when it comes to that. Now, Arena. To be quite honest, I don't put a lot of stock into Arena. I don't care that much. I was able to get Overlord one time at the end of a season, and that was good enough for me. Most of the time, I just end up in Plat 3 because you need very specific heroes in order to compete. And like, I don't have a Hatset, so I can't do one of them. I don't have an Ingrid, so I'm not, when you don't have Hatset and you don't have Ingrid, it's very hard to compete in certain things. So I usually round out the week in Plat 3, and I just don't put that much stock into it. Now let's go to the gear dungeons. Gear raid 1, 2, and 3, I have been able to get all the way through 21. I was able to do that, I don't know, 3 or 4 months ago. So that did take time. I mean, it only took about 3 months to get through like Sage 18 or 19 or something. And then I think it took 3 months to get through 18, and then another month to get through 19, and then another few months to get through 20, and another few months to get through 21. But I have able to get through all 3 gear raid 1, 2, and 3. Those are done. I've been farming those, and I haven't put a lot of attention into Gear Dungeon 1 and 2. Those are kind of my next big things, other than the Artifact Material Raid. This just came out a couple weeks ago, so I've been farming it pretty hard. Done a couple of videos. One of them was very popular, and I thank you everyone who watched that. Actually, my farming video for Artifact Material Raid 19 for these Titan Meteorites was my biggest video of all time, so that was pretty exciting. I still need to do some work to get through stage 21 and 22. I'm sure I'll get that done. Eventually, it's hard to find time to solve all of the riddles that this game presents you with. So obviously promotion raid, that's super easy. You should be able to get that done, I don't know, within a month or so of playing the game. I don't really remember. That's one of the easier things to do in the game, as well as resource raid. I don't even run those anymore, really. Once in a great while, I will do an EXP raid, but not really. I pretty much have done all the hero training that I can do, other than when I get a new legendary hero. But, you know, all the epics are fully maxed, so there's not a whole lot of experience left to get in the game. Now, when it comes to Immortal Codex, I actually think this is a pretty cool part of the game. As you can see, Wasteland Titan ended yesterday, and that's probably my best one. I ended up at SS Plus at top 6%. Currently, both Hellfire and Emperor, they're top 12% and 15%. I could probably improve those scores if I did a little bit of work, but quite frankly, probably good enough. And then what else do we have in the game? Let's see, we've got... Well, I covered that, so that's pretty much it. So other than campaign, I have not worked on this in a long time. I don't even fully remember how to maneuver around it. I did finish hard like a long time ago. Normal, I got done with the original chapters, but in 29 I'm kind of stuck on, I guess. So I guess that's just the last one, huh? So I have to finish that last one to get through the last thing in normal, and then I can focus on expert again someday. Not quite at the end, but I haven't even looked at expert probably in 3 to 6 months. So campaign is not like a super huge part of the game once you get some experience into the game, but you can get some nice rewards there if you complete it. So I'll probably do that someday when I have time. So how do I feel about the game 400 days in? Have I ever thought about quitting? And the answer is, whenever I get stuck on something, I think about quitting the game. But I always have goals in mind that kind of help me keep going forward. Like, I thought about quitting the game a couple months ago. I'm like, I have to get through Drake's Chasm. I gotta get 50k blood. I can't quit the game until I do that. And then I did it, and I was like, okay, well, what about Titanic Ruins? Now I'm like, well, I need to at least improve my Titanic Ruins. So, am I thinking about quitting the game? Not right now, because I don't feel very stuck. I actually think it's really cool that they upgraded the artifact material raid, because now it's a lot easier to farm some of those more difficult artifacts, and it's a lot easier to get some of the exclusive artifacts. So I'm kind of focusing on that and having fun with that. So this is what you can get with the game. I am saving up a lot of summons right now, trying to get Hex and Twyla this coming weekend. I only have the one copy of Hex, so I'd like to get him to at least A1, and I would like to get his girlfriend as well. So I've got a lot of summoning coming up this weekend. So let me know, how far are you into the game? Are you free to play? Are you a spender? Do you feel like if you are spending that it's helped you out a lot? Or if you're free to play, do you feel inhibited by your free to playness? Or are you having fun like me? Yeah, so I haven't spent in the game. I obviously get a little bit of rewards from being a content creator, but I'm not the biggest content creator. Believe me, I do not get the kind of rewards that some of the bigger CCs get. So maybe I have a couple extra legendary heroes on my account because of it. But other than that, I mean, I haven't spent any of my own personal money on the game. So that's what I consider free to play. Some people have some different opinions about what you really want to call free to play. I don't really care. Call it what you will. So that's it. I guess that's pretty much my account. And I think it's a pretty good account considering that I haven't spent money. And I still think that the game is fun, it's challenging, and I'd say the hardest part about the game is it just takes forever to farm gear. I still don't have the best gear in the world. I try to farm the gear. It's kind of boring to farm gear, but it's necessary, so I'm trying to get my gear better and better. Trying to get a few heroes that I am missing. If we go ahead and take a look at the gallery, who am I missing that I would really love to get? Obviously, I only have 4 legendary lords. I want Ingrid. She's like my number 1. Obviously, I want to get any kind of lord other than the ones that I have. I have some of the worst ones besides Praetus being one of the best. I would really like to get a Constance, particularly because I have Praetus. I would very much like to, let's see, I still don't have a Valkyra, even though I think she's one of the easier ones to get. I would absolutely love to get a Valkyra. Hatsud has been near the top of my list since I started the game. I always thought that she looked kind of like Duchess in Raid Shadow Legends, who I also have never gotten. And who else? I wish I had gotten Dahlia. I didn't have the summons for that at the time, and I regret it because I think that she's particularly useful in Guild versus Guild. I'm skipping over some of the lords that are really good but aren't my most wanted. Eloin, I would love to get my hands on an Eloin. And is there anybody else that's really like most wanted? I mean, Ardia would be good, but I wouldn't call her my most wanted. And then, I would like to get Emiret and Ajax. So there you go. That's my account. 400 days of Watcher Realms. Tell me what you think in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will be back with more Watcher of Realms content. See ya!